There's certainly no rest for the wicked. We've come straight out of a big Golden Easter Egg Carnival, and we are running head-on into a ladies' bracelet and Bob Payne sprint for the boys and the girls around Wentworth Park, both Group 3 events, and Craig Chappelow has got a runner in each of the series on Saturday night. Firstly, g'day to you, Craig. What have you made of the last couple of months of racing, mate?
It's been very exciting, been busy for me. We've made a few finals, headed down to Temora not that long ago, and then through to Wentworth Park. Unfortunately didn't quite make it through to the big Golden Easter Egg, but we were still had a runner on the night. So it's been really good racing around the state the last few months.
We'll talk a bit more about Overflow, Beau, in just a little minute, but we'll talk about Overflow Jill first, the full litter sister, both, of course, out of Sweet City Woman. She's been in indifferent form, I reckon it's fair to say, but has she just had a bit of bad luck? Has she just been boxed poorly? What have you made of her last couple of efforts, mate?
Yeah, probably you hit the nail on the head. A little bit out of form. Couple of her runs, she was a little bit unlucky, vying for the lead and got into a tangle or whatnot. But yeah, probably the trip across to Richmond didn't seem to do her any help. Just from a trial there, and then when we went back to the Richmond Oaks, she started missing the start, and it seemed to transfer across to Wentworth Park, where she'd been impeccable out of the boxes there. And we've sort of worked on a bit of box work with her, and slowly I think her confidence is coming back. But yeah, she's still not back to where she was probably a couple of months ago, but I don't think she's too far away.
She goes around in the first heat of the ladies' bracelet on Saturday. It's race 5 on the program. Have a look through the field. Craig, gee whiz, they haven't done you any favours here. You got a Richmond Oaks winner in Shanghai Susie, Wallachia Miss, who was all the rage heading into the Ultra Sense. Camilla Keeping comes out of that race as well. And then, of course, Overflow Jill out in box 8, mate. What do you think of the heat?
Obviously, being out wide doesn't look that great on paper with all the inside pace. It's going to be really hard to get across from out there, but that's about her only hope, is that the fact that there's some really quick bitches boxed next to each other in on the inside, and she will run a very straight line from out wide, so she can handle box 8. But whether she's going to be able to get away quick enough to beat all 4 of them, or if not someone in the middle even across to get into the lead, it's going to be tough. So yeah, I don't rate her chances highly off the box draw, but if things sort of go her way a little bit at the start, then you never know, she might get a great run out wide, and all the smarter ones inside might jam themselves up.
Let's turn our attention to Overflow Beau. He goes around in Heat 2 of the Bob Payne Sprint. It's race 9 on Saturday night's card. Drawn box 1, you've got Zipping Megatron outside, who ran so well in the Egg. Nangar Larry's in box 8. Leg Speed, who was a runner-up in the Ultra Sense. Another race full of quality, mate, but you'd expect no different for a Group 3, would you?
No, that's right. Yeah, they've only got the 2 heats, which is a little bit surprising, but it gives you a little bit of a chance of getting through first 4. But it's combined all the dogs into a really good 2 races. So it was never going to be an easy heat, and Beau's come up against some really good competition. Box 1 brings him right into the race. He did begin poorly his last start at Wentworth Park off the 1. And got away with that in a little bit of an easier race. In saying that, his next 2 starts, he's begun better. He's just got to do that there on Saturday night, get away cleanly and find the rail. And I think if he does, he can really show what he can do. Sort of been talking him up a bit for the last few months, and he sort of hasn't quite reached the heights that I'd hoped. But in that saying that, he's still been racing really well, and just get the start right, he can show what he can do.
Yeah, you mentioned Spruiking, the dog group winner up in Brisbane at the back end of last year, and been in and around some big races in the last couple of months. Maybe hasn't had a big breakthrough. That run against Good Odds Cobber, who's arguably, the form dog in New South Wales at the moment, last start must have filled you with hope. Craig, and box 1, I assume, will suit as well.
Yeah, well, he has been shot Saturday night and only got beat 3/4 of a length by Good Odds Cobber, but he did copy interference at the first turn. So I'm just hoping a move to the inside, where he does like to get to the fence. I'm just hoping that might be the bit of a help he needs to get clear early, and he needs to do that because obviously, as you mentioned earlier, some of the dogs in the race are very strong. So he needs to be in the first few going around the first turn to have any chance of getting through to the final. So yeah, fingers crossed this Saturday night he can do it all together, put it all together.
Craig, of course, it's remiss of me not to mention Embrace going around in the ladies' bracelet as well. Box 2 going around at the ripe old age of 3.5. Sounds a bit mean calling her an old girl, but she's been a marvel, mate. $224,000 in prize money, and just continues to deliver, doesn't she?
Yeah, that's right. So we sort of just keeping going just week by week with Embrace, and obviously looking towards the breeding barn with her not too far down the track, I suppose. But yeah, Ladies Bracelet was too good to knock back, so we'll have a go. She's made a couple of good finals over her career, and yeah, hopefully Saturday night she might be able to get into another one.
If the punters had to have one bet, mate, Overflow Jill, Embrace, or Overflow Beau, who would you be tipping him into on Saturday?
Just solely off the boxes, I think you go Overflow Beau. He should be a little bit of odds with the quality of the field that he's in, and I think box one brings him right into the race. He's shown me the last couple of runs he's very close to another win, so I'd be probably leaning towards Beau to salute on Saturday night.